So I'm sitting here, and Spirit is definitely talking to me as they usually do, my higher self. And we're having a conversation in the bathroom as I'm moisturizing and all that great stuff after getting out the shower, right? And the conversation that we're having is about how one major religion or major faith, and it trickles down into other belief systems as well, but this one being, I won't call it out, it doesn't matter. I think that as I begin to speak, many of you guys will, if you get a chance to even listen to this, you'll know what I'm talking about. There is a major faith. The more that I think about it, like as I'm listening, I was listening to some songs that were actually being sang by brothers. They were being sang by men. And I was listening, and Spirit started to talk to me about the reverence and the honor and respect that this particular faith places upon men. And there would be nothing wrong with it if it were balanced, but it is not. It is not balanced at all. It's totally imbalanced to the point to where the feminine principle of God is not there. It is removed. And Spirit was taking me back literally to all the sermons and even the songs that we sing in these churches dedicated to this particular faith and everything. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who participates and believes in this feels this way, but I'm saying that the belief system itself, the way that it is structured and set up, the feminine principle, which therefore also trickles down to the woman, is totally removed, at least from the faith as we know it today. It is removed. And if it is mentioned at all, it's like a franchise, each franchise owner can, they kind of have their free will with it, but ultimately at its core, feminine energy is totally gone. Therefore, the woman is totally gone. No respect for her, no honor for her, except for in a position of only support, which in a lot of these cases means not actually being seen or heard of, period, okay? Which is tragic because that's not the natural order. That's not the way that the Most High, the universe, even set it up, right? So that's the first thing that Spirit was pointing out to me. Like, even in the songs of praise, the songs of worship, right? There are men who are glorifying I call this entity an ascended master now, but whatever anyone would want to call him, Jesus Christ or Yeshua or Yeshua, whatever you want to call him. This is a man who is continuously receiving praise and adoration, even in like love songs or like, there's nothing wrong with showing love towards a brother. That's not even my point. There's a level of affection that men can definitely have for one another, and it's not, homosexual or imbalanced. However, like I'm stating, in this particular faith, it is drastically imbalanced. In the songs that I was listening to, and even other ones that I've heard over the years that I love, by the way, not bashing them, only Spirit was taking me to the point where there are men who are singing like love ballads and love songs to this masculine male deity, right? And I know that some people might come across this audio and they'll be like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Or somebody might be like, in the spirit, there's no gender, right? And I know that that's factual information. However, it has been consistently, by way of song, by way of repetition, by way of continuously being dominated by men and masculine energy. I mean, people are singing love songs to a masculine energy. And when I say people, I'm saying men. Which maybe someone would say, oh, you're going too deep, you're overanalyzing, but I don't think so. I don't think so. These people are actually singing love songs And they're giving honor and respect and praise to a man. Not just one man, but multiple men. And the ladies and the feminine aspect is not there. Or it definitely does not get the honor or respect or even the feelings of love as this male deity does. Okay, and so honestly, it's like supporting homosexuality, or it's supporting the uplifting of men to a very deep emotional degree. Like, then Spirit starts to take me into this whole energy that they're like, as you can see, men will be for men before they'll be for women. At this time, there are men who will protect men, and cover men, have loyalty to men before they would a woman, their woman even. Even in this same doctrine, in this same faith, there are so many women who are continuously disrespected, mistreated, overlooked, put in a position really of subservience when truthfully their rightful place is alongside, because they are a part of the Godhead. They are God too. They are the feminine replica, the feminine aspect of the Most High. But again, because of this belief system that has been repeated over and over and over and over again, and thus ingrained into the minds of men, the feminine principle is removed. And even in some other faiths that seek to rectify that, they still are influenced to a degree by this same faith, because they still they demonize women, the feminine principle, and they certainly never talk about God as a woman. Never. You will more than likely see people from this faith and even some others literally get upset, pissed off at the thought that maybe even just the Comforter or the Holy Spirit is a woman, because the word or the prefixes or the whatever, the pronouns, I forget what it is in goddamn English. I don't remember what to call it, but he, in this particular faith, and to be quite honest, in so many other ones that either stem from this faith or have at some point over the time been transformed, okay, everybody considers God he. Not everyone, but in this particular faith, he is the common denominator. And so even women will, because that's all they've ever heard, they'll go with that too, because it's the norm at this point. It is a sense of normalcy with this. And there are women who are going along with this status quo just because it's the way that it's literally always been, not realizing that their whole essence is being removed. Now, some people feel it by way of just their spirit being vexed. And I'm talking about the women at this point. And even some men, there are some men who they can't get with singing praises to a man. They can't get with, oh, why we don't honor the women and respect the women. There are no ballads to the feminine principle of God in this particular faith. Everybody who sings about the faith, always references to this principle as a male. But I happen to believe, and it's been brought to my attention, that that God has a masculine male and feminine female side. This is the reason that when it was said to make them in the image, we have masculine, feminine in mostly all of the species, starting from the animal kingdom, starting from even atoms and molecules. Okay? I'm no expert, but I'm just talking about what I feel like Spirit has been saying to me and really just pointed out to me on a very deep, a deep intrinsic level. When we get to mankind and humankind, this faith that is so prevalent across the world, it is a male-dominated faith. It has removed the aspect of the female or the feminine principle altogether. And it's done so very smoothly, it seems. They even have men there are men singing love songs to this deity, but they don't respect their women. They don't care about their wives. You couldn't get them to sing a love song to their woman. All of the praise, all of the adoration, all of the affections of both the men and the women go to a man or a masculine principle. And Spirit is like pointing out how defiled and perverse that is. So hopefully someone gets something out of this little thought process and this conversation that Spirit and I had today. But they were pointing out why it's hard for a lot of men who gravitate towards these religious beliefs or these lifestyles where the man is totally uplifted and the woman, if she is mentioned, it is in a supportive or subservient role, but it is significantly less than the role that he plays. And there are a lot of men who gravitate towards that, and they literally implement it in their everyday life. Their whole thought process is thwarted and it's twisted and perverse because of the fact that the feminine and female principle is totally stripped of her power, stripped of the equality, except for within the confines of what the masculine or male energy gives her. And that is not right. Anyway, hopefully there'll be more men singing about God and the feminine principle. Like, it's foreign. It's totally foreign. I'm supposed to be shutting up now, but it's just like these thoughts are coming to me. Like, I cannot believe how foreign it is in faith practices that there are no songs uplifting the feminine principle. And in a way they do, but they're giving the feminine attributes and then it therefore eradicates her energy and her essence, giving it to the male, making it like okay, we don't need you to do nothing but sit here, look pretty, and clean our houses, have our babies, make our food. You know what I'm saying? But as for the wealth of information, the knowledge, the spiritual prowess and power that the divine feminine has, that is either attributed to the masculine altogether, or it's like grazed over for the woman or the feminine principle. In fact, many men who subscribe to a lot of to this particular faith or religion that I'm talking of, and then the little subsidiaries of that same faith, it's like they'll get up in arms if a woman if it's even mentioned that a woman has any more authority, any more power, any more rights to be heard, respected, reverenced than they do, or at all. And that is like baffling to me, because literally nature doesn't even work that way. But anyway, I truly digress now. Let me get on out of here. I gotta go handle business. I hope you guys have a lovely day. And I hope I made you guys think about some shit. You're singing love songs to a man for some of you guys. Oh my God. Okay, I need to shut up. But before I do, some of these people have literally like no real love in their heart at all. They have no affection, which is the reason why it's easy for them to also gravitate towards these particular doctrines of belief, because they don't know the first thing about affectionate, comforting love at all anyway, because they haven't experienced it. And if they do experience it in the form of women or feminine principles, they don't know what to do with it at all. So this is actually really big. It's sad, and it's very deep. It's very deep because people's doctrines and their belief systems, it totally governs and rules their lives. So then, if you don't honor and respect the the feminine aspect and the female aspect of God, then that means that's the reason why it's so easy for her to be disrespected. It's why it's so easy for her to just be canceled out and removed and replaced, either with a male or just with any woman or any feminine principle, because they're indispensable. And that is just not the truth. All right, I'm shut up. All right, I gotta go. Peace, love, light, darkness, working in balance and harmony together. Bye, you guys.